Eventually, there's gonna be Pokemon pack virgins that just like
I've never seen a Pokemon card pack in my life. He gets off on like lowballing people on Facebook Marketplace.
Come on, baby, give me 20% off.
Yeah.
Dude, scalpers are just Team Rocket in real life.
Oh my god.
They are just trying to steal kids' Pokemon cards. Welcome to the Pack Magic podcast. We are your hosts. My name is Nathaniel Gertis, aka Gertis, aka Vanilla Thunder, and I'm joined with my co-host, White Lightning.
Oh my god.
aka
I'm Connor McGrath, not White Lightning.
All right, Mr. Lightning. What do you think about meme cards?
Meme cards?
Yeah, have you seen what's been happening with meme cards in
No.
You haven't seen it?
I don't think so.
Okay, so basically lately people have been there's one person in particular who's been kind of leading the charge a little bit, but there have been cards that have been popping up in price from like $10 all the way up to $70 just because they're like stupid and derpy, or they find a way to brand the cards as being like having a certain name. So for example, I'll show you here.
Talking about the Solosis.
Yes, the Solosis is one of them in particular.
So I mean, is it not just an artist that people are interested in?
Yeah, but people call it the Booger Mew.
Okay. Well, I mean, I personally think the art looks good. I don't know how much good looking art really translates into value for a card, and it's obviously like, you're seeing a large spike over a short period of time, which doesn't necessarily mean like people love the art. Something happened, right? It's not like people loved the art the entire time or would have been expensive the whole time.
Right. That's true.
For this particular card, I think it probably does have something to do with the artist. I think people liked the Bubble Mew, didn't really know about the other cards that this artist was doing. I don't know the artist's name. But when they started finding them, I'd be interested to know if like other cards by that artist were following a similar trend.
Oh, 100%. There's another one, the Clavopus, that also popped up. And I definitely was initially like, oh, this artist did the Bubble Mew. Probably the other arts by them will also pop up. However, now it's starting to turn into a little bit of a thing of like, because we had the Bubble Mew, and then now we have the Rubber Mew, is what they're calling this one.
Okay.
And this isn't even the same artist.
Really?
Really?
That's crazy to hear that that's not the same artist.
It looks similar.
I guess if you drew a bubble around that Dynamo, it would be
it would be pretty similar. I like the pixelation art. Like it's clearly like a little bit different, but it kind of has the same sort of
Hit
style.
me a before and after again
Of the artist.
Yeah. Okay. It looks really similar.
Yeah.
Like just a very similar art style for sure.
Yeah.
I guess that the Bubble Mew artist, we should learn these people's names, but
Uzgman.
Okay. The Bubble Mew artist.
Probably wrong. I probably mispronounced that one.
Sorry about that, Uzgman. But it's really similar. I think, at its core, Pokemon is a thing that's appealing to kids, and this is a very like childish art style.
Yeah.
Not to discredit the quality of the art, but it looks like it's for kids.
Yeah, 100%. It's got like, well, this is like thick line drawing, and then that's the Clobopus, same artist.
Very thick lines.
Thick lines. So there's no like lines like at all on this one. So it is a little bit different, but it's really funny from the Bubble Mew to the Booger Mew to the Rubber Mew. I think it's partially because it looks like this right here in the top left corner. There's a like small condom.
It does look like that.
And bro, kind of looks like a tiny sperm like rolling around.
Yeah.
But yeah, meme cards.
You gotta wonder if that was a choice. You don't see any other condoms in the picture.
That's true. Like, what is this even supposed to be? At the top and the bottom, what is this?
Waterfall?
Falling up at the bottom? Coming up?
Yes.
I see the waterfall part, but the rest of it is kind of like, is it supposed to be like...
I don't know. It's just like an artistically framed little guy.
Maybe it's supposed to be like icicles?
Yeah, I was thinking that, or like I can't remember which ones are up and which ones are down, but stalagmites
Stalactites.
and stalactites. Yeah.
Right. It could be one of the two. It's funny because typically, even in the Pokemon art, they
Mm,
kind of do their best to make sure that the Pokemon is in the environment in which you would actually find it
mm.
in the games. Um, this is
You do
nowhere.
not find a Dynamo.
This is not anywhere. So
Cool.
I,
And you also find them in like a cave on the ground. You know, they float. They don't
yeah,
swim, as
that's
far as I know. Because
right.
you find them in what, like black and white in the charge cave,
Hmm.
and they're not in water.
You're right.
It looks like a
That
fish. It
that's
looks like
kind
a
of
fish.
funny. That is actually extra funny.
Hmm.
That they do this. There's like a scene in The Office where Dwight is shown a hand drawing of somebody, and he goes, "That doesn't look like any person I've ever seen in my entire life." And that's how I feel like when I see like these stalactites, stalagmites. Like I don't know if that's I've never I don't even know what they were going for. Now that I'm thinking about it, so why is this be condom looking thing at the top? Clearly there was a distinct choice that was made at some point. Um
I don't know. Like, how do you make this kind of art? Right. This is definitely fully digitally rendered art. You're
mhm,
not. I don't think this person painted this and
mhm.
then translated it onto a card. I think that they made this on an iPad.
Oh, 100%.
So I think that I don't know if they were deliberately trying to hide like a phallic, message into the card art, or if that was just a unfortunate mistake. But
Funny enough, it was likely made using the app Procreate.
okay. Well,
So
be safe out there, kids.
yeah,
Practice what they say.
absolutely. But anyways, lately cards like this are taking a bit of a spotlight in the
Mm,
field, which worries me a little bit because obviously we had meme coins in crypto,
mm,
and I feel like nothing made me not want to be in crypto more than meme coins.
yeah.
Like it burned so many people and gave crypto such a bad name because everything was just a pump and dump, everything was a scheme, everything. And people are beginning to treat these meme cards a little bit like the same way, where there's buyouts happening where people are buying all the availability, it's
Mm,
shooting the price up, and then it's it's uncertain if people are actually like selling the cards then at the new marked up price or holding them. But it feels very similarly and extra problematically is that at least in crypto, if you're going to do a pump and dump, you need millions and millions of dollars to do so.
mm.
Where like there are maybe 100, I can actually check.
Let's check the population.
Um, there's 45 available on the market at $30 each. What's the math on that?
I
But
don't know.
300 times, so you got $1,200 in your pocket, and you just
Yeah, buy every single
you
one.
just took the market. Um, so that's problematic that you could just take the market,
Right.
with your extra spending money from your part-time job.
Right, right.
That is
Uh
crazy.
yeah, so the whole, I guess, investment aspect of Pokemon cards is highly worrisome to me because there is no function of the cards other than to look good. Because especially if you got them slabbed, you're not making a deck of slabs. You're not. I don't know that people play the game really competitively a lot, the card game. I
Mhm,
know that some people do play, and then obviously the Pocket is popular.
mhm,
I feel like the popularity of that might be falling off a little bit. I don't see as much about it in like on
mhm,
Instagram Reels as I used to when it was coming up.
mhm,
Um, but what do you do if you have 45 Dynamos sitting around? What do you do with them? You just have them. They don't serve any function other than to later resell, or you really love the card. If
mhm.
you really love the card and you really want to have every single copy of it, yeah, you got $1,200, you could do it. But I doubt anybody's doing that because they really love the card. Like
Yeah,
I might want one to
mhm.
have in my collection, but I don't want 45.
Right. It's pretty ridiculous to just go and spend, and buy out these cards.
Well, what I'm thinking is that the only reason you would do that is you have some ulterior motive.
Mhm.
You're not doing it because you love the card. You're doing
Yeah.
it because you want to make money off of it.
Right. Which brings us to, our next point is how, like, the philosophies around pricing discovery.
Mhm.
What makes a card like the Bubble Mew in a PSA 10 worth $2,000?
Mhm.
Worth, somebody's rent for the month, you know?
Yeah. So I think it's got probably a couple of things. Like availability is going to be one of them. Like you
Hmm.
said, some of these cards, if they are, everybody wants them for their collection rather than having some ulterior motive. They just want one for themselves.
Hmm.
And there's a really low population. There's a hugely competitive market to acquire that card, right? So
Hmm.
you have, I don't know how many PSA 10 Bubble Mews there are.
I don't, it's like over 10,000.
Okay, so there's way more, right? There's
Hmm.
way more of this card, but it's also way more highly sought after. So
Hmm.
the supply and demand on that is going to be, people who want it are going to want it and keep it. That
Hmm.
card is permanently off the market,
Yeah.
right? So you buy it, it's gone,
Right.
never coming back onto the market until you later, I don't know, sell your entire collection.
Right. It's
Um,
true. A lot of people are just really buying and they're just holding forever. And they're just like, I think that's what's kind of happening with the sealed market is that at this point, you're either doing one of two things. People are like buying tons of cases and putting them in a warehouse and never touching them again, or they're a rip and shipper and they're opening every available product that there is.
mhm.
And there is like 7 people in between that are like opening for fun.
Right, yeah.
Like that is it. You're either
Well, it's the very lucky people that show up to Target at the exactly right time and get their one piece of sealed product
yes,
that they get to open for themselves.
yes, 100%. Because it's like, and that's kind of I think what's a really driving price is like you either fall into one of two categories of I rip everything, or I'm holding forever, and like there's very little casual, like the casual community is like dwindling down.
Right. Not because they want to, because there's nothing for them to get.
Yes.
It's just the market is completely dominated by the people who are buying every single bit of sealed product.
Yeah, and the people that do decide to sell some of their sealed product are selling it in bulk to the rip and shippers.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
there's just nothing left for anybody who just wants to open their one pack of
Right.
mega evolutions or what have you.
Right. And I mean, it's still gambling at that point because the likelihood that you're going to get your one thing out of your one sealed product that you managed to acquire is like astronomically low.
It's right. It is very low, which is why Pack Magic was started in the beginning was just because like, hey, what are the actual odds that will make money? Because I remember a while ago we did like a little bit of rip and shipping,
Yeah.
like back in 2020.
Sure did. Yeah.
And it's funny because I remember we actually got kicked because we were doing it in a Facebook group and we got kicked out because we were just drawing all the attention of the group.
Right. Which was really weird because they told us that we had to be doing something, nefarious. And we're like, we literally just buy these online and do exactly what you see.
Yeah,
Like there's no nefarious acts going.
we were doing exactly what everyone else is doing, and yeah, we were just getting too much attention at the time. But I remember we opened it was Battle Styles,
Mhm.
and we also opened like a couple boxes of Magic, and it was the Time Spiral remastered,
Mhm.
and we were like,
Which
Battle
one's
Sty-
going to recoup their value?
yeah, and like Battle Styles was garbage.
Mhm.
It was just like we opened it, we were like, it isn't even like comparable of like what the value you get out of opening this thing
Right.
is. But fortunately, in Mega Evolutions, or actually even in Scarlet Violet, like the pull rates were a lot higher,
Mhm.
and even more so, the pull rates are now even more higher in Mega Evolutions.
Right.
I actually, when I was making adjustments to Pack Magic, I found out that they are about 4 times higher in Scarlet Violet than they ever were in Sword and Shield.
Yeah.
So,
That's a worrisome prospect for me. I guess it depends on the print size, right?
mhm.
How much of the sealed product they print, because if it's 4 times more likely that you're going to get the stuff
Mhm.
with the same number of sealed products printed, it's
Mhm.
going to in my mind, you'd think it'd be at least 4 times less valuable for the most valuable card.
Right. So you would think, but here's where the Pokemon Company got really clever in wanting all of the money is yes, it's 4 times more likely you will get a hit, but they print 40 more hits than they ever did before in one set. So you're actually like 40 times less likely to get the thing you want.
The one thing. Well, but are those hits valueless cards? Like, because
No.
there's so many things that I see people consider a hit when they're doing their like rip and ship or their pack openings on Instagram Reels or whatever. And I'm like, that card's a piece of shit. You know, that's $1. You did not recoup the value of your pack for your hit.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if there is the same, right? If it's the same as it's always been, and the one card that you're looking for is equally unlikely, because you know, like they're so they literally come up with like names for sets that are indicators that this set sucks. The pull rates on this set suck. So like burning wallets and stuff like that.
Right.
It's not burning shadow. Yeah, exactly.
Traumatic evolution.
Right. Because it's like you're not gonna get the thing. They call it that because they know that they can open an entire booster box and not find what they're looking for. So I'm wondering if it's the same and there's just more shiny. There's jingling the keys at you.
That's what's happening. It's like we're having the ever increasing illusion that these boxes are getting better and better, but secretly they're not. They're getting worse and worse. But no, but it opening up the new set, it does feel a lot better than it has in the past. I will say, like, even like a problem in the past is 2 things actually. Number one, the ultra rares were just never valuable. Like the flat, like, you know, it's just blank color on the background and then the Pokemon on the foreground.
Yeah.
Or the hyper rares, which were the rarest cards, the gold cards, were also like
the exact same, but
$4. You know, they were not worth the ones that were less rare. But now the ultra rares and mega evolutions are actually starting to become a little bit valuable, and they look really good. And
in the newest
set, and the hyper rares for the first time are the most hyped cards. They're even rarer than they ever have been, but at least like they look really good because they're all textured and they're like these monochrome cards that, you know, they'll look really nice. So at least like it is starting to feel like anything you do get, even if it's like a shit hit, like it's not so bad. It's like it still can recoup. I think the pull rates on mega evolutions aren't the worst. I can bring it up here. 6.45% break even odds.
That's great odds.
It's comparatively speaking, the color is blue, so that tells me it's okay. If we include the bulk, it's, you know, not too bad, but people don't sell their bulk usually.
Right.
And let's see, cumulative, and if you grade, yeah, the best you're gonna get is 38% odds. So not that is terrible. You know,
right.
It is terrible. Ultimately, it is
like
not
any
good.
Casino would love those odds.
For real, there's a reason why casinos legally must give you at least like what? It must be like a 48% chance or something that you win.
No, there's for a casino, it all depends on the game you're playing. Like slots is probably the worst odd that you can find in the house. I think you probably have like a 30% chance of putting $20 in and getting at least $20 out, but it all depends on when you stop. This is a once and done. You are opening the thing. Once you've opened the thing, you've paid the exact money that it's worth, and then your odds are set. You don't have any chance to hit one more spin and possibly recoup some more losses.
What is the best odds in a casino? Is it blackjack?
No, it's gonna be craps.
Craps? What are the odds on craps?
So craps, you get your true odds on if you make a pass line bet on, this is jargon, but if you make a pass line bet on craps and then you take odds on that bet, which means that you've made your bet, a point has been established on the game, which means that a number that wasn't a craps number was rolled. You can then place odds on that wager depending on what number got rolled.
Mhm.
and the payout that you get for those odds is the exact odds of you rolling that number, which is by far the best wager in the house.
Got it.
Because you're getting true odds.
What
If you
is
have a 50% chance to roll, an 8,
mhm.
that's not the actual number. But if you have a 50% chance, for instance, to roll an 8, you're going to get paid the exact 1 to 2, 2 to 1.
What is your best possible odds in like your ideal crap situation?
I mean, it's all a luck game. If you're the don't pass line, which is betting that a 7 will be rolled before the number that is the point, is better because 7 is the most statistically likely number to be rolled on a craps table. You have 6 different combinations of dice that could result in a 7, where everything else is a pyramid down on both sides. So if you bet that with true odds, that's going to be your best wager. And then you just keep rolling 7s.
Got it. I'm just wondering, like, in terms of Pokemon cards, like how what the difference actually is, because it's really interesting thinking of it like you're gambling, but like where would
you're better off at a casino than with Pokemon cards for sure.
One thing I will say over Pokemon, Pokemon cards over casino is if you lose in the casino, you lose. If you lose in Pokemon cards and you keep the cards, one day you could wake up and actually be a winner still.
It's true. Your hope is not lost. I mean, it really kind of is, if you open nothing, your hope is lost. Your piece of shit rare that came in that card or in that pack is not going to ever be worth the value that you paid for the pack. Even maybe in 20 years, the base rares in these new sets are going to be worth something, but even still, you see people open Jungle first edition.
Oh my dude,
and not
Jungle's
terrible set. Oh, I know, but that's a super old set,
right?
And almost everything in it is valueless,
right?
So you don't have hope. I wouldn't. Kids, you don't have any hope. Go to the casino.
That's terrible advice. Do not gamble at your own risk.
Gambling's bad.
Anyways, you want to open some packs? No, I'm just playing. No, just joking.
I missed the time that we spent ripping shipping was pretty fun. I had a good time.
We had a great time. We were crushing it.
I know.
We should have actually kept going.
We could continue to go, but it's I feel like it's really immoral to do.
It does feel scummy.
So there's this guy, his name's Wubby. Sorry if you're seeing this, Wubby. I hate him. And he's virtuous enough. He does it with Magic. He's like a Magic card rip and shipper. But he has this gigantic bankroll that allows him to acquire all of these crazy alpha booster boxes and stuff like that. And he does give people good deals on the packs, to be fair. I'm giving you credit. But it just feels wrong to watch. All my friends love him. All my friends are like, hey, he's ripping Magic. You want to watch? I'm like, fuck no. I hate that guy. Because it's jealousy for me, but at the same time, it's just I feel like this is dirty. I feel like we're doing something that looks like a service, but I feel like somewhere he's making money off of this.
I wonder well, first off, if you're doing work, you should be making money off of it, right? But I think where it comes down to it feels problematic is what it feels like is they took it off the shelves from you and they're now trying to resell it back to you at their own market. It feels like you're promoting a scalper when you give in to the rip and shipper. I think that's probably where the bad feeling comes from.
Yeah.
So I wonder but on the other hand, I do know there's actually just a lot of people who do pay for the rip and shippers specifically because they live in a city or a town that does not stock Pokemon.
Right.
So there's no way they could be getting taken from in that sense.
In theory.
Theory.
Theoretically, if the rip and shippers didn't buy every single bit of sealed product, their city might be able to get their hands on some.
Yeah.
But it's kind of a catch-22 because you can't really. It would be super hard to quantify exactly how this works because I believe that the Pokemon company just ships them to the places that get them. As a retailer, they're making their money on the MSRP of the product. They don't care what happens to it after.
Right.
And they're willing to sell it. I feel like there's some equity in the people that the businesses that receive the cards in the first place, direct from the manufacturer, because the manufacturer is getting their money either way.
Right.
Although I feel like they would rather sell it to Target than they would to your local trading card shop, because Target's going to fill a way bigger order.
That's
and all they care about is their MSRP.
That's right. And also, I think there's something about just not like the Pokemon Company currently is trying to make sure that people aren't scalping as hard, and so I think that there is a lot of cutbacks in terms of shops getting allocation because they're worried that the shops are essentially scalping as well.
Right. Which is true in a lot of cases.
In a lot of cases, it's true. You know, there's some shops that are honest. It's like, what can you do? This is just market.
Target does it.
Yeah, 100%. So, but I'm trying to think, like, is there even like a full guiltless way to actually do rip and shipping?
Yeah, there is. So, and I think this is, from what my friends tell me, this is what the guy that I was telling you about does, is he makes his money on the viewership of the stream. He is a popular streamer besides what he's doing with the rip and shipping. So when he has his people watching him do this rip and shipping, he's allegedly offering the actual value of the pack to the viewers that are purchasing them.
Right. So it's at market.
So the overhead for him is he's not making any money on the cards themselves. He's making money on the viewership of the stream while he opens the cards.
Right. But the issue would be that he's not selling him at MSRP. He's selling him at market.
Right. But if you can't sell, he's not going to sell you an alpha pack for $4.
I know. So, okay.
You monster. Sell me the alpha pack at $4.
Vintage is a different story, but like, obviously, in vintage also.
So for the newer sets, he does sell them at
MSRP.
Yeah.
Okay.
From what I can tell.
Okay, but he's doing
I've
Magic.
never done it.
He's doing Magic.
He's doing Magic cards.
Okay, so that's so different because you can still, like, I can go into Target and I can sometimes find Magic. I can't go into Target and find Pokemon.
Right. You might be able to talk to your local trading card guy and he might be able to get you a good deal on a case for Magic, right? Like you might be able to actually purchase a bulk amount of Magic cards because just there isn't the market for the people scalping it. There is, but it's not nearly as prolific. With Pokemon cards, like you can go to every single person that you know and ask, can you get me a case? And all of them are going to be like, yeah, I'll get you a case for twice its value. Sure.
Right. Exactly.
I think you were telling me the other day that like you were seeing the value of a specific case of Pokemon cards increase hundreds of dollars a day.
Yes.
As you were trying to acquire it, and you're like, just sell it to me now. Like,
yes. I literally like a very good buddy of mine. I asked him, I said, hey, can you try and get me a case? I think at the time they were pretty affordable. I think they were like $13.50 for the case. And then, then they were $14.50. And I was like, hey, can you get me a case? And he's like, and he goes, well, when Mega Evolutions come out, I think it's going to dip and stuff like that. So I waited a little bit, but then eventually I was like, I saw somebody offering cases at 2,000. I was like, I'm just going to get one. He ended up giving me a better deal. And then 2 weeks later after that, when Mega Evolutions came out, they were $3,100 a case for Destined Rivals. Yeah. And I was like, I'm so happy I just bought one and pulled the trigger because we're flying up in value so much. And I'm glad that I didn't wait because I really believed in that product. But yeah, I'm wondering just if there's any possible way in Pokemon where prices are just so inflated. Even Mega Evolutions out the gate, like I think it hit like $400 a booster box a week after it came out.
Right.
Like
you can't tell me there's scarcity at that point.
Yeah. So it's like, how could I, as somebody who would rip and ship, which I don't. But if like I were to do that, how could I do that guiltlessly in terms of like finding the value and finding cards and having enough inventory to resell and be able to survive and live? It's like it's kind of a hard thing to do.
Yeah. I mean, you see them all the time. You see people doing it all the time. And it's pretty popular. I think it's just kind of like your Subway Surfers, right? You can throw it. You could literally have a completely unrelated video with a person at the bottom ripping shipping, and it would increase the viewership of that video to have because it's just like this. You don't need audio for it. You don't need any kind of cues to watch it. It's quick and easy to watch. And it gives you like the tiniest amount of dopamine hit when you see the other person get the thing. It's not even nearly equivalent to what you would feel if you had it yourself, but at least you're getting like some kind of like joy in your life for a brief moment.
So ripping shipping is porn, is what you're saying.
It is like that. Yes, it is like you are vicariously enjoying something. It's like I can't get laid, but I can watch
It'd be
you
much
get laid.
better if I could open these packs for myself, but since I can't pull packs,
yeah, whatever the equivalent of like an incel is for Pokemon cards is what rip and shipping feels like.
Yeah. Eventually, there's gonna be Pokemon pack virgins that just. Like,
I've never seen a Pokemon card pack in my life.
I've never been able to open my own packs for myself. One can dream. I'll find one out.
I like, there are people out there. There's probably people jacking off to it while they watch. Like, I don't know. I got a buddy who he gets off on like lowballing people on Facebook Marketplace, and like I'm sure he masturbates to it. I can't prove it, but I know he does. Like.
The way he talks about it.
Yeah, exactly. It is. It's exactly like that. I'm like, why? He's just like, you're too invested in this. Like, you get too much joy out of lowballing a guy on his boat on Facebook Marketplace. Like, that shouldn't bring you any joy. It should just be, you should be indifferent to that.
This person is struggling to pay rent. They can't even feed themselves. They must sell their childhood card that they've loved so dearly. And you're just like, come on, baby, give me for 20% off.
Yeah. That is literally a really like prime. That's pretty on par for what I think he's working with. Like, and I don't understand it, but like it's I guess you're getting some joy out of somebody else's sorrow, which is I think what people get from watching Rip and Shippers when they lose, and people watching porn are enjoying somebody get pleasure else, from something else. Yeah. And they're not getting it themselves, but at least they're like able to kind of enjoy it, right? You get some vicarious.
They feel like they're part of a team,
Yeah.
Like,
you get them. Go get them.
Rip and Shippers are the OnlyFans model
of the Pokemon card community. Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah. Well, it's like you can. Folks, you can make your own parallels, but that's what we're landing on.
All right.
But to answer your question, we did have a question for this, which was, is there a way to do it morally? And I think
guiltlessly.
Sure, as the person doing it.
Yeah, as the person.
Well, if you have no shame, that's the easiest way to do it.
Just get rid of your shame.
Right. If you have no guilt, then you're doing it guiltlessly because you're just a bad person. But I think another way that if you have like a moral compass on you and you want to be able to sleep at night without being like, I just ripped off a bunch of 10-year-olds. I think full transparency would be a really good baseline to start with.
Yeah.
You have
just like, your markups, like what your markups actually are.
Right. This is what I paid for the product. This is where I got the product from at this price. You don't maybe need to say exactly all of that depending on like the privacy of the people that you're acquiring the cards from. But as long as you are having a consistent, transparent, presentation, it should be over time, people learn to trust your word on it because you basically are just giving people your word that this is what you're working with. But I mean, there's something to be said for somebody who just speaks genuinely. Hey, this is how much I paid for this. You can see all of the metrics of what I'm doing right now on the bottom of the screen. For instance, if you're doing it on like YouTube Shorts or whatever, I don't know if you're doing it live. How they do it
on slot machines? Do they have the odds on?
Yes,
they do. It's printed.
Yeah,
that's the law, right?
Yes,
right.
So it's not necessarily always printed, but you, as the player, can for every single game can navigate to the odds of the machines or the games themselves.
Because I know in different countries, like gotcha apps and things like that, they have to put their odds. Like when you open loot boxes, they must tell you what the odds. In America, they don't have to tell you the odds and on those apps. But yeah, the reason that law is there is because that's the morally right thing to do, so that people know what they're getting themselves into, and that would make sense. That'd probably be the most guiltless way. You're right, to do rip and shipping would actually just be like if they put a card up on the screen and people are auctioning on it, say what market price is,
right?
Say what is the market, so people don't like they pay $200 and then they like go on Pack Magic and they see the card's worth $5 and be like, wow, I cannot believe I just did that, and they feel bad, and
right. And I'm sure that's something that is privately occurring all the time. I think that's something that people like collectors feel often. I feel like they're probably feeling ripped off in a lot of circumstances because of how hard it is to acquire the product. And when you do finally get that dopamine hit of getting the thing, and then to find out that you paid extra on it, you're probably a little bit more upset than you would have been, or maybe not even happy at all anymore.
Right.
I don't know. It doesn't seem problematic enough to have people not do it because people are doing it constantly.
Yeah. There was a guy, he was doing rip and shipping, and he told me that back in February that he did, I think it was $200,000 in sales just in February from rip and shipping.
That's crazy.
That is
I mean, imagine
crazy.
having how did you get all that product?
Right.
You had to have so much product for that. I don't know if the $200,000 in sales is like, after what he's taking home, or that's just how much
full revenue. Okay. It's just revenue. So it's probably, I gotta imagine 20% is probably, like $20K for the month is probably what he took home after everything. But still, that's like
$20K in a month though. That's crazy.
That's great. Doing $20K a month, you're living very well.
Yeah.
But enough people are spending $200,000 a month on the rip and shipping just for his one account.
Right.
That's insane. That's demand. Like you've never seen it.
I know, and it feels like it should be a gamble for that person, but apparently it's not. And once if you lose out on it one time after the course of succeeding on it, if you lose out on 1 month out of the 12 of the year, you're still way in the green as far as profit goes.
Right.
And then you still have the product. Like I'm assuming that he's selling out more than he's not.
Right. Or else he wouldn't be doing it. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is the problem, because the reason, even if it feels bad for people are going to do it at the highest profit margin they can, because that's just how it works. That's how all businesses work.
Yeah.
They're going to do things for the highest profit they possibly can.
And this segue is actually really nice into the next topic I wanted to talk about, which is if you're making $200,000 a month, I just think about that as like a startup, like as a startup business. If you go to an investor and be like, yeah, I'm doing $200,000 a month, they will give you so much money to keep doing what you're doing. And it's like, they would give you like, that's like, as a startup, it's like a $50 million valuation or something, like something crazy. Maybe not that much, maybe like 20 million or something, but that's a lot.
Sure. Whatever. It's clear proof that this is working.
Yeah. It like you'd be solid. And it's really funny because it's not like some fancy startup. It's like just, I'm ripping shipping on,
Right.
Like, this is my business.
Just a scumbag,
Like if I went to like a VC firm and be like, here's my product, I just go and I buy, I steal from the children and I give back to the adults, like that's what I do.
Yeah,
and
I rip joy out of the hands of children and I give it to adults. Pay me.
And they're like, yeah, you're right. You're making a lot of money. Let's give you more money. I don't know if it would really go down like that. But my next kind of question and topic I kind of want to dive into is, what direction do you think we're heading in this market? Do you think it's going to crash, or do you think it's going to break out and expand to be just an even bigger monster than it already is?
Well, I mean, we've seen a steady uptake in this over the course of almost 30 years. Pokemon came out to huge popularity. The cards were hugely popular from base set. And nobody, I mean, some people had the foresight. I was, 8, so I didn't. But some people had the foresight to see where this was going and took really good care of the cards that they opened and kept sealed product, because you still see sealed product lying around, which is something that's always fascinated me. It's like, how are not every single one of these open by now?
Yeah, why are they all gone?
But I mean, you still see them. You still see people acquiring them at every single card show, and they're trading hands constantly. So I think that based on that being the low end of the popularity for this product, to scaling up to where we have it now, I can't imagine that it's going to tank super hard. But it seems unsustainable based on how every single other market works. Nothing's quite like Pokemon. There's nothing that is just immediately valuable that gains 200 times its value over the course of the first month of its release,
right?
Like anything else. Like there's nothing else like that. So I could see it continuing. I think that them doing things like increasing the pull rates and possibly, I don't know if they're ever planning to do this, but increasing the print runs could decrease the value of the cards. Like if the things that were once highly sought after become more abundant, it's going to be easier to get your hands on them. The value is going to go down. But the things that are already in existence will only go up because there's only going to be less and less of them.
Yeah, it'll be they're subject to flooding, tornadoes, whatever. People lose things, people destroy things by mistake. Like slowly, like things will become lost and fall out of. Even if the population on the Bubble Mew in the PSA 10 is 10,000, people are going to eventually lose them. They're going to break. They're going to,
right.
They're not all of them are going to, stay in the market or even, be remembered or in existence.
And maybe half of those cards that are PSA 10s are even available on the market as is, because there are the people that are collecting for themselves. They may go back onto the market years down the line, but that's not something that you can really,
There's 93 available apparently right now.
There you go. So of the 10,000 that have been graded as a 10, there are 93 that you could buy.
Right.
Which means that 10,000 people are holding on to them, approximately. Their motives for that probably vary. Some of them might be collecting 100 of them because they have a huge bankroll and they're trying to pump and dump this fucking card. But I think that the vast majority of collectors still do it for the sake of having the cards. I think that people want to have them. So those cards are not going to leave that person's possession until they don't want any cards anymore.
Right. That's usually just how it goes. Like people have trouble in this market, like keeping it fluid. They want to just collect.
Right.
They just want to hold on until they're done with Pokemon cards. Then they dump their collections. Like there's plenty of like card drops or rapid shippers, but there's so many people right now that they just pull it in and it just is like a hole, that's going into.
And it's a buyer's market too. So you see it a lot at the card shows where like the people are offering 80% on a $2,000 card.
Well, that's not really happening actually as much anymore. Everything's like starting to come to a point where like people even at the card shows aren't budging because it's actually the buying pressure is so high right now that it's just
I can go to your neighbor and sell it to them for
market. And it's more so it's now in the point of like your deal is that you're getting it at market today because it's going to be worth 20% more tomorrow. That's what people are kind of like thinking about it as.
I mean, I still see it there. I see a lot of, I don't know if the videos that I'm seeing are like to date accuracy, but I still see it a lot where the people behind the counter at these card shows at least attempt to lowball you every single time.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yes. They will try and buy it off of you for as much.
And that's who I'm talking about. Is the people at the stands at the card shows are trying to lowball the people who come to their counter and say, I'm looking to sell these cards.
Absolutely.
And the number that I see people land on a lot of times is like between 80 and 90%, which sounds pretty good, but that person's going to sell it that day for 105%.
Right.
So you're really just handing them free money by doing that.
Yes.
and all you need to do is put a folding table in front of you, and suddenly you can sell it at 105% yourself.
I know, you're just rich.
Yeah, which is crazy because it's like that shouldn't the dynamic at the card show shouldn't be the person sitting here has all the buying power because they're the ones who have a folding table.
Yeah, they're immediately the authority at the price of a $20 folding table.
Yeah, exactly. And I guess whatever it costs to set up at that show.
Right.
Which is honestly, their margins are probably pretty bad because they do have to pay to be there. The people who are really raking it in are the people who own the venue. Because all of this money is changing hands at the show and they're trying to make their, 5 to 10% margin to cover the expenses that they have to be there.
That's another thing I wanted to like kind of philosophize about is just like because what I'm hearing at these card shows is that it's a lot of the same people going to the same shows. So if no one's budging, no one's giving deals anymore, and it's all the same people, therefore you're seeing all the same product, what happens next? Because eventually these people are going to stop wanting to come to the shows,
right?
Because it becomes pointless because you've seen everything 100 times and you're not getting deals there anymore. Ultimately what needs to happen is people who don't care about grading or the product that they have need to be better put in touch with the people who want it, and are willing to grade it. So that's kind of, and I don't even know where that would happen because those casual people that aren't going to grade or anything
aren't going to the
shows, so yeah, it's kind of tricky.
Well, I mean, you can kind of call that dead product, right? So that's going to go into the category of stuff that just isn't available on the market, which then inflates the price of the stuff that is. If they're not motivated to go and find a way to offload this stuff because they either don't care or they're not interested or they just want to hold it as it is, you can kind of just count them out of the equation because from my experience, if somebody has no interest in doing something, it's going to be really hard for you to motivate them to do it. Even if it becomes abundantly easy for them to do, it would have to be like one of those hydraulic tubes in their house where it's just like, just put it in the tube. All you got to do is walk into your living room and put it in the tube.
Just put it in the tube, send me your cards.
Until it is that easy to do, I don't think you're going to motivate those people to do it because it's just laziness. And it's like, I can relate to that, right? I don't really want to do things I don't really want to do. So unless you find a really clever way to target me for a market that I'm uninterested in, you're basically out of luck. So if I have something that you want and you don't have any way to get me to do it, you can consider that product that I have that you want off the table.
We need to start like our own like cash for clunkers kind of deal where we
Oh
just
my God.
where
the Pokemon pawn shop.
Well, yeah, we'll come and audit like your collection into like our own ice cream truck kind of thing. We'll just roll up in a van and just take your cards.
That is 100% not the worst idea.
It
is really not a bad idea because I think you'd get a lot more people willing to do it. It's just like, just leave it on your front porch. And again, I mean, a lot of these things, if you build yourself a reputation of honesty, it'll be a lot easier for you to feel like, for people to feel like they can trust your valuation on their random cards that they didn't evaluate themselves, right?
Right. Yeah, it'd probably be a great deal because if you have like, if your process is like, all right, all you have to do is just leave it on your front porch. We come pick it up, we photograph everything, and then we give you a price. Like, even if we offered them like 50%, which is terrible, they'd be like, well, I don't want you to come and drop it back off.
Right.
Like it probably would be a great business model ultimately, but yeah,
honestly, it's a great idea because that is the closest you're going to get to the hydraulic tube in your house. You don't have to do anything. You literally can just contact this service and it comes to your door and does what it needs to do and offers you a value on the things that you have no interest in anyway. So that's basically, like the cash for clunkers thing.
Yes.
Like you literally like, I don't want this. It doesn't matter what its actual value is. I'm basically getting money for you to take it off my hands.
Got it.
But I think people would be interested in that. I think that it would be kind of like a dirty job because anything that involves you going to these people's houses is going to be.
I think you have to be really careful because you might get jumped. a
Yeah,
lot.
you
Trying to
might be
pick up-
okay in Petaluma, but like
Yeah, yeah. I
you're walking around in like the armored truck.
yeah, in like one of the Brinks trucks.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. That's what you have to do.
Then you're
So
paying cards.
going back, I want like going back to like where the market goes from here is my suspicion is that I think that because we have the market cap right now for Pokemon cards is sitting around like $4 billion, something like that. That's just like a really rough estimation of like how much money is currently like in Pokemon cards right now.
Okay.
And the way I think about it is in a traditional financial market, something like stocks, $100 trillion plus, like 114 trillion is where we're at. And crypto is like 4 or 5 trillion, somewhere, in that range. All I can think about is the fact that I know right now I've seen like investors in other industries, like the New York Times did a whole post about how Pokemon cards are just beating out the stocks and everything.
Mhm.
And then I see Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank. He's starting to buy trading cards. I don't think he's in Pokemon cards, but I know he's buying trading cards now. There was a photo that was going around for a while that Simon Cowell was at a card show buying Rayquazas. Like, I think, and who everyone I kind of talk to outside of Pokemon about this, they're like, "Oh, Pokemon cards are valuable." Like they still don't know, which is really weird from being inside the bubble. But I think that once other people start figuring it out and other investors start figuring it out, I think that some of those trillions, maybe not a trillion, but maybe like more billions, like maybe, even just 10 more $billion might start flowing into Pokemon cards. Were that to happen, that's like 3x, 2x what's currently in it. And I feel like we're just going to start going through a time of like such growth where that the product will almost be like gold. Like if you can find it, it's guaranteed increase, where like everything is worth $100,
Yeah. I think once investors like who have no interest in anything, because there are people who do that kind of stuff. There are people who do it with shoes. There are people who do it with clothing. There are people who do it with Pokemon cards. But they're not like whales. They don't have $1 billion to throw at this market. When people who do have $1 billion to throw at the market start doing it, I think it's gonna be really problematic. Because then you're gonna see the fluctuation in the market that you might see in like cryptocurrency. Pokemon cards don't do that. Pokemon cards, from my understanding, generally start at a place. If they go up a lot. And if they go down, they don't go down the same amount that they went up.
Right.
Whereas with like cryptocurrency and stocks, you can see large fluctuations where they go up, but it's not nearly as volatile.
It's a liquidity bottleneck.
Right.
Right. And stocks and crypto, you can just buy as much as you want, basically, at the time.
And the people, once it goes up, once they see that spike in crypto and stocks, once they see that spike, if they're a whale, they're going to sell it off for their baseline $1 billion profit,
right?
Because they put $20 billion into it. So it's selling off for, their 5% increase or whatever it is that they get is hugely profitable to them. Where in Pokemon cards, like we're talking about, we don't have an infinite supply to purchase. You can't just buy $1 billion worth of any card because it just doesn't exist.
It just does not.
You could buy $1 billion worth of PSA 10 Charizard base set, right? Like maybe if there's enough to be sold, because that's the only card that has such a high value that you might be able to burn your bankroll on it. But we don't see that in Pokemon cards because they're a physical item that exists, can be damaged, can be taken out of a slab, re-put into a slab. And, PSA only tracks how many cards they put into a slab. They have no way of tracking how many cards get taken out. Stepped on, run over by a car, flooded,
re-cracked open to be resent.
Yeah, sent off to Beckett, whatever.
Right. So it's just crazy to me because somebody who has like a couple $1 million could literally go and like look at the Bubble Mew at $2,000. We know there's about 100 available on the market right now. They could just spend 200 grand, buy them all, and
it would be $3,000.
It would be $3,000,
right.
And then they just made 50% on their money. And I think,
but they have to sell it.
They do have to sell it,
But it's only 100 things.
It's
You're only
only
selling
100 things. Yes. That's it. You know, it's just 100 things.
Mhm.
So once people begin to realize who have that kind of capital, what they can do,
Mhm. Rich get richer.
it's gonna be like people are gonna have a terrible time. Like,
Right, and I hate that. I hate that for everybody except for I hate that for the people that are making the money off of it because, capitalist swine, and I hate that for the collectors because the thing that is already so hard for them to acquire is now impossible for them to acquire.
mhm,
Um, so it just ruins it. Eventually, when the elderly people who control the vast majority of wealth in the United States get their fingers into this,
mhm,
it's going to ruin it.
mhm,
Truly, I think that you're going to see them doing it strictly for profit, and the people who are doing it for a love of the game, both literally and figuratively,
mhm,
aren't going to be able to do it anymore because it's just not. They just don't have the money to go
mhm,
and create this collection that they want to see. And if they don't have the ability to create the collection, they're not going to settle for just the one card.
mhm,
They want the reason that people do it is to fill out binders, to have these cards on their shelves,
mhm.
in some kind of way that is meaningful and valuable to them on a level beyond the financial aspect.
Yeah. On the flip side, I do think that also like people who are casually collecting though right now, even though it feels really hard, knowing that in the grand scheme of things, we're actually still kind of in a smaller market.
Mm,
Like if you are just casually collecting, there are plenty of $5 cards that are going to go to $50 to $100 and things like that.
mhm,
That I think it could, if you are smart right now, picking up cards that are in good quality, that are gradable, you know, even if they're 5 to 10 to $15 cards, illustration rares that just like you could like sit there and be like, I could see this being more valuable as long as you're just slowly accumulating those and maybe getting them graded. I think that if that does happen where, you know, many more billions flow in, you will be very set. Like
sure,
you will be able to play ball because
sure.
you saw the direction the market was heading
Mhm.
beforehand. I think it's still early in a market like this, where it can, pop off so hard that even if you casually collected the things that you have collected, will be worth a ton.
Sure, but let's look at the clientele of th- the people that are actually invested in this. So if you look at it as a comparison between, like, let's call it Pokemon cards and stocks,
Mm,
people who are invested in stocks are only doing it for money.
mm,
There is no reason to do it other than the financial gain that they stand to make.
mm,
It is investing, plain and simple. There is no uh, nostalgic value
mm,
or something that you can enjoy in the meantime while this accumulates value. There's nothing else. It is just, I am planning to sell this at a later date. Where the
mm.
people who collect Pokemon, there's a wide array of individuals that are
Right.
not interested
Just
in investing.
crazier.
Um, you've got your people who are like us who have been doing it since they were 10 and just love Pokemon
Mm,
because you grew up with it and there's a nostalgic value to it. There are kids today that are getting into it because they're finding a joy in it in their own youth.
mm,
There are people who are neither of those things that are doing it for, like, the people that you probably see mostly at the card shows are people like that, especially behind the booth. The people who don't really care about Pokemon as it is, they just are doing it for profit.
mm,
But that is a minority, I would think,
mm,
in this market where if we start seeing a shift to where everybody's doing it for the financial aspect of it,
mm.
a lot of the joy is going to be stripped from the people who are doing it for the joy.
Yeah.
And I think so. I don't know
Yeah.
if that is, I'm not a prophet, but it just seems like that's the way when something becomes strictly for profit and the vast majority of people are doing it for the money,
Mm,
uh, that's all it is. It's
mm,
not fun anymore. The people who are doing it no longer have any stake in it for anything beyond, I want to make money.
mhm. Let's we're running a little long here, so let's I want to jump into two more. I have two more segments I want to kind of go through
Yeah. So,
real quick, which is first overrated, underrated. I'm going to show you a couple different cards and you tell me if you think they're overrated or underrated.
give me like a criteria. on my own opinion
Yeah,
for nothing other than if I like it or
yeah,
not.
just totally own opinion here. Starting with the Bubble Mew.
Okay. I think he's cute. I love shinies. I don't think it's $2,000 worth.
In a PSA 10.
Sure. Yeah.
650 raw.
Cool. um, I'm just gonna judge these based off of nothing beyond do I like how it looks, because the values of these cards was something that I wanted to bring up. I want to see what you think on the value of the card versus the quality of the art, and see where that kind of leads us. But for now, I'm just going to judge it on the quality of the art.
Okay.
Bubble Mew, I'm going to give it like a 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10.
Art quality.
Yeah. All right. So overrated or underrated?
Overrated.
Overrated. Booger
Mew. Equally cute. I'm not really, I'm a Magic card fan, so I think that cool is better than cute, but I think it's cute. I'll give it like, a 6.5 out of 10. Underrated because it's way less. I guess I have to account for the value of the card because this value is much more equivalent to the quality of the art, in my opinion. So I would say underrated.
Underrated. Clobopus.
Underrated. I don't know how much it's worth, but it's underrated.
$20.
Great card art. That's probably the best one from this artist that I've seen so far. I like that he's doing his little
the Donald Trump gumshoes meme card.
I hate gumshoes more than any other Pokemon. Like most people hate Watchog, which I also hate. But gumshoes is just the ugliest Pokemon ever made. It does not fit its concept, which is supposed to be like, a gumshoe. He's supposed to be like a detective. He looks like Donald Trump.
Right.
I'm going to go overrated at any value.
All right. Team Rocket's Mewtwo.
Cool as hell.
I like it too. A lot of people did not like this art when it came out.
I mean, it's got, again, that's a nostalgic thing for me. Like Giovanni's Mewtwo is the Mewtwo, the only Mewtwo that I know, and I think it's cool. Right? Pokemon, the first movie. $2,000. I'm going to say probably
at a PSA 10.
There's got to be a middle ground. I'm going to say this is correctly rated.
Properly rated.
Properly rated.
Yeah. Whenever I see this card, I think about Patrick from SpongeBob saying, he's looking at me menacingly. Because that's what
it is. No, that's cool. Like I said before, I value cool art over cute art for the most part. I love me a cute little guy. These are cute little guys. I love a dingus.
Yeah.
But
and they must be doing some crazy shit in this art because the sky is red. Like something has happened in this city where they have taken over the town.
I 100% did not register that background as like a cityscape.
I didn't think about it till just now, but clearly they've, messed.
So let's talk about the good. Put Giovanni in a card. It's better than it was before. He's the best villain. There's nobody else. Like all the other team leaders are cool. Some of them cooler than others, but Giovanni's the GOAT.
Yeah.
Can't be beat. There's not a huge emphasis on his penis chest or his ball fingers. So
that's crazy. I never thought about that.
A lot of Mewtwo's, you see a lot of genitals. You see a penis chest, you see ball fingers, you see ball toes. You see a little bit of ball toes, but it's covered by text. The ball fingers aren't like, in your face here. It's a good Mewtwo.
Hilarious. I never thought about that, but yes.
And you'll notice there's no penis chest at all.
Yeah.
That is not how Mewtwo actually looks. He's got a dick for a chest.
Yeah, I'm going to need to
show me another picture of a Mewtwo.
All right, bring it up, Jamie. Let's see if I can find another one here that's like kind of what you're talking about. I can see now.
Where's the old school Mewtwo art from?
Like the base set?
Is it base set?
You're talking about the base set Mewtwo?
Yeah. Compare. Because I like that Mewtwo art too. I will give huge credit to any artwork that is still hand painted.
Yeah. One.
I'm assuming you're looking at the card art here. So, this one.
It's between us.
Okay, great, perfect. I'm pointing generally between us. This one, it looks good.
This is base set.
Obviously, way less going on.
Mhm.
Base set Mewtwo, still really good. Still not a lot of phallic stuff going on. I don't know when they added the penis chest, but like I played the video games, right? The most Pokemon exposure I get is from the video games, and
Which game are you talking about? Is he the most?
I mean, you can look at him in like Super Smash Brothers, the most penisy.
Yeah.
I think it's probably Super Smash Brothers that I'm imagining like that really, long chest thing. I don't know what he uses it for. I think the 3D sprite in post Gen 6 or Gen 7 games has it. Yep. There he is. What you got? What you got there?
Are you talking about like the thing in between right here?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
Have you never noticed the penis chest?
No.
You didn't know what I was talking about?
I thought you meant his whole shape because like his shape is a little bit
No, he's got like the little.
I thought you meant like his chest plate was like the head of the penis.
No,
he's got like a necklace that's like a little dongle.
That's really generous of you to call it a necklace. It looks like he's got his genitals just a little too high up.
Yes, and it's non-existent on the Rocket's Mewtwo art.
On this card art.
You are correct.
And the card art's good, but I can tell that it wasn't hand painted. And hand painted goes a long way for me. My favorite Pokemon artist is the girl. Shout out! I don't know your name, but you're really good. They make stuff out of clay. And they just photograph it in like a real scene, and it's an actual photograph of a clay figure of a Pokemon. It's great. It's beautiful. It's really like it catches all of the like, I don't know. It catches the cuteness of the Pokemon really well, but it also actually, looks like the Pokemon. There's no artistic expression in presenting Bubble Mew as something that doesn't really look like a Mew to me. Like this little fatty, that's Mew.
That is Mew.
This is how he's supposed to look. And this is not really what the Bubble Mew looks like to me. Big head, little body. What's up with that?
Let's see. I always, for some reason, oh my god, this is a terrible photo of, I always think of the Corsola from Neo Discovery when I think of the claymation. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But that's one that I always like think about.
It's a really good one.
Bring this up here.
Yep,
that's the one.
Yeah. Chef's kiss.
Yeah, those are really nostalgic. Yuka Mori. That's our
good job, Yukamori. Keep it up.
Yeah, those are.
And she still does it. I think I've seen them in much more modern sets.
Yeah, they brought them back a little bit. I like those. We actually on Pack Magic we have you can search by clay.
Really?
Clay arts. Yes.
What?
Yes. So if I go here,
what a niche search function.
Yes. So if you go to,
you can search by straight up artists too, right?
You can. So if I go to filters and I go to collection types, there's clay models.
So can you search by like can you cross reference artist per price? Like, can you tell me which artist has the most valuable repertoire of their own art?
I actually did set that up, but I haven't implemented it yet. And I think it's just straight up Ken Sugimori.
Yeah, makes
because
sense.
like there's a lot of like base set stuff that's
that
like
is just so valuable.
I think it is. When I first like did a check, but I could be wrong. There was a handful. But also there's like the person who does all of the EXs. There's one person, it's like 5-band graphics is like the name of the like company or something that does them
Interesting.
all. They're responsible for basically all EXs from all the way dating back to the original.
I guess, and there's just so many.
And there's just so many. So yes. All right.
For me, I always think about the Caterpie.
Oh, that's a great
Yuka.
one. Yeah. Neo Discovery. Yeah. Oh, the Kabuto. Oh, all these are so great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The Shuckle. I love these. Actually, Neo Discovery is like.
And look at the values. Like, hit me with an underrated across the board.
Yeah. Underrated across the board for clay models.
Yeah.
Yes.
Crazy.
100%. 100%. You know what? I might make this a category. On Pack Magic, we have different indexes.
Mm-hmm.
So if you go here, you can see the different indexes. I should make a clay model index to see how all clay models are doing over time.
Sure.
That's not a bad idea.
I think more metrics to play with is always better than fewer.
Yeah.
Just because it's fun, right? I mean, it gives people, like, if you have an idea and I want to see what this looks like, here it is.
Yep, there it is. All right.
It looks like that Chansey was $10,000 for a PSA 10.
Probably.
Crazy.
They
Overrated.
well, it's because there's probably just none available.
Yeah.
So if I go to collection types and then clay models, let's see. Which one?
11,000.
Oh, yes. That one.
From you got to buy all of those that you can.
That's ungraded. There's probably just none. Yeah, so one just means that there's basically none available. Is the reason. It's somewhat confident. So it doesn't even know if that's like the true price. It's just like its best guess. But yeah, first edition.
I'm not confident. That's the price.
Neo. But
there's none.
What's
So
the pop report on it? So that's the next question. And we don't even have it on here for that card. But I can check.
If you see them, buy them, grade them. If you get a 10,
you're just rich.
You just made $10,000.
Yeah, absolutely. There's just none available. All right. Underrated, overrated. The Sunbreon card.
Overrated.
Yeah, I agree.
100%. Not even close to the best Umbreon art. Like, yeah, the Moonbreon is just way cooler. I'm still going to call it overrated. It's beautiful art. I love the background. I love the like Starry Night kind of situation we got going on. The one thing that has always stood out as a bother to me for this card is why is it glowing purple? It's
because Dynamax, right? It's VMAX.
Does VMAX do all VMAXs glow purple?
I think so. Maybe, I don't know. I think they have like a reddish like.
I never once, because I don't ever look at what it says next to the Pokemon's name. I don't really look at that, so I never once thought to myself, why is this Umbreon so big that it's the size of the roof of this house? I never once had that. I know, I get it now, but I never once had that thought.
Yes.
I just took it at face value and was like, why is he purple?
All Dynamax Pokemon have like a red hue to them, around them. So that's actually, I don't know if this is the right word, but anatomically correct.
Sure.
Where they should actually have the purple hue.
Yeah, and go back to the other Umbreon real quick. It's got the ring pop on its head, so you're right.
That's right, because it's the terrestrialized version of the Pokemon.
Yeah, it's got the ring pop, so I'll give it to you.
Yeah. So this one's.
I'm gonna go Moonbreon, overvalued but correctly rated as something that is cool.
Yeah, I feel.
But still overvalued.
Yeah, when I first saw this, I really do love Umbreon, but I don't look at these two cards and be like, these are the best Umbreon cards.
Do you remember
of all
that
time.
video that came out? It probably came out, I don't know, 2022, 2023, COVID era, of the person that was like, had one of those white shoe boxes full of Moonbreons.
Yes, the person who stole them from the factory. Yes.
Yeah, so that always gave me, I just hated that so much. I'm like, you are a huge piece of shit. No wonder nobody's pulling these. They're all in this guy's basement or apartment.
Yeah.
And to think that guy could make 2,000 a pop
is
for every single one of those.
Yeah. Well,
ungraded.
That guy got caught.
And what did they do with the card?
They burned them.
So they're just not in existence.
Yeah.
Well, that's why they're 2,000 a pop.
Right. They just
so that's a huge bummer. I think it's a great art, but I don't think it is as good as the Mewtwo that we looked at before.
Yeah,
and
I
it
think
is
the
also
Mewtwo's
valued
fire.
at way more. So I'm gonna call it
overrated.
Overrated. That's what I'm looking for.
All right. Waifu cards, overrated or underrated?
In general,
yeah,
it really depends. If it's just a picture of the girl, overrated for sure. Anybody who is calling these waifus, you better be under 18. You are a pedo if you are. These are all children. Like, there are a couple of these women that are women. Like, Cynthia is an adult,
like 40 something years old.
Woman. Lily's mom, I can't remember her name, Lucamine or whatever. That is an adult woman. You may you are allowed to sexualize that if you really must, but
Right.
it's in a Pokemon game. You're
Yes.
still weird.
Yes.
However, some of them are good art. You know, like Cynthia's Roserade.
That's a great
That's
card.
great art.
Yeah.
Some of the other ones, like just regular Marnie card,
Mhm.
who cares?
Right.
Is it a good card in the game? Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
But the art itself does nothing for me. It needs to have at least a Pokemon in it for me to call it a good card.
In Japan, apparently there's a waifu tax where the Japanese versions of the female trainer cards are worth
I know.
so much more money.
Yeah, what's up with that?
That's why I'm bringing it up. That's why I'm bringing it up as overrated, underrated, because the English market isn't doing the same thing.
Well, okay. A little bit of a tangent here, but my favorite thing in anime is when they don't sexualize the kids. And it's so rare. You don't see it in many animes because so many, like, I like Dan to Dan. Dan, a good show. Got a good plot line, good animation, but why the fuck they sexualizing them kids, man? At least make them 18, dude. Like, why can't they be college students? Then you're good to goon. Gooning approved.
You're good to goon.
Yeah.
Are you good to goon or not? I should put a tag on the cards of the trainers
Goon
that
ability.
are over 18. So it just says good to goon.
Yeah,
which is their safe to waifu collect.
Honestly, that's like a really morally good thing to do.
It's just the right thing to do.
Let's run through a couple because I cannot generalize this enough. For me to say overrated, underrated as like a base.
Well, you know that we've got the collection type for waifus here on Pack Magic.
I sure do know.
All right, so Cynthia and Caitlin, Cynthia's Garchomp, Lily.
So the ones that are just the trainer, it's hard for me. Like, I like that Erica. That Erica looks good.
This one?
Yeah. I think if it makes a good representation of what the trainer is, it's at least, what did we call it? Correctly rated?
Yeah, properly
rated. It's at least properly rated. You know, like Mina. What is she in I watched the animes, so Mina in the show is just like a hippie weirdo painter girl, and that's what I see in the card, and I think that's a good representation of the character. What the fuck's going on with that Misty's favor? What's up with that?
Yeah.
That's not my Misty.
That has nothing to do with, in fact, that's kind of the opposite of Misty's kind of brash and like angry. And
they're not even love discs.
That's so funny. They're not even love discs.
They could be love discs. Like, love disc has no value as a Pokemon or there's no usability other than being heart-shaped.
Yep.
And missed opportunity. I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever.
That's hilarious.
Overrated at any value.
You know what trainer I actually really like to collect is Zinnia.
Which one's Zinnia? Is she the sharp teeth girl?
She's the one who's like the granddaughter for like the calling of Rayquaza. You know, you find her.
Give me a picture of Zinnia.
She
what games is she in?
Ruby Sapphire Emerald or Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. She's at the Sky Pillar.
Oh.
And she is the great granddaughter of like the tribe that was in charge of summoning Rayquaza. And so she's like the link to Rayquaza.
Okay. I mean, I'm going to keep it a buck 50 with you. I skipped all the dialogue in all the games, and I have
since I was a little kid. Emerald's your favorite game.
Yeah, but I skip all the dialogue. I have never once read all the dialogue in any Pokemon game ever. I'm so sorry. Like,
I really haven't read much of the dialogue in many of the games either, but I do know what the stories are generally of what's happening.
Okay, let's figure it out. What is Kanto's storyline? That's easy. We got Team Rocket being nefarious.
A bunch of idiots getting together trying to steal children's Pokemon. Which, dude, scalpers are just Team Rocket in real life.
Oh my god,
they are just trying to steal kids' Pokemon cards.
Dude, get him the fits. Send him the fits.
We have become the thing.
Holy shit! Imagine we just become rip and shippers and just dress as Team Rocket. That's a great idea.
That's a great idea. That's the business.
It's like we are. Our transparency is in that we know that we're villains. So.
And we're know that we're idiot sandwich villains.
Mhm.
Like we just because they're just really stupid.
Get
villains.
Lila a Meowth costume and we're good to go.
That's so fucking funny. That is hilarious. Yes, that is insane.
Is our talking cat.
Just yeah, we have scalpers have become Team Rocket because we're just stealing Pokemon from kids.
Okay, let's just do a quick run through. I've played every single Pokemon generation many times over. The earlier the generation, the more times I've played it. I have played Gen 3 probably the most times, so not knowing who this person is a real testament to my understanding of the plots of these games. But let's just run through it real quick.
Okay, Kanto.
Gen 1, Team Rocket bad, Giovanni trying to take over.
Yeah, we want to steal your Pokemon and that's it. And then become the Pokemon Master.
Yeah, but a relatively mundane plot.
Become the champion.
Even with Giovanni's like underlying story that is told much more articulately in the anime, you don't really see a lot of it in the game.
Right. He's just kind of like
very true JRPG gameplay.
Yeah, he just like he all of a sudden is like the gym leader of one of the gyms.
Yeah, it's like you saw him in that tower that one time, and then you saw him as the gym leader of the 8th gym, and he was like, "Oh, guess I'm done. I'll retire my nefarious ways." You're like, "You were nefarious?"
yeah, I just met you.
I honestly didn't notice. Like, I thought you guys were just for XP, but
you guys were just to help me, boost my.
Tell me one plot point in Gen 2.
One plot point in Gen 2.
Yeah,
well,
what happens?
Okay, so basically, Ho-Oh and Lugia like retired himself, and because he was
Lord of the Skies, living underwater.
Yeah, he retired himself. I think like some towers burned down. There was the burn tower because there's like the Eevee girls are kind of like holding it down in that area for some reason. I'm trying to remember actually.
No, and there's a person inside, and there's the guy that's looking for the legendary dogs.
Right, and
there's a person inside the tower in the Eevee girl town.
Yeah, I think Ho-Oh appointed the dogs, like resurrected the dogs essentially to help like look after everything. This is all hearsay. Yeah,
I actually don't know the plot of that game.
I can't remember. What I do love about the plot of the game is you carry on Kanto's story after Team Rocket.
Right. It's like you still have Team Rocket around. They're like kind of like beaten and
and if
down in the dumps, but they're still trying to like recover.
Right.
But the only thing anybody ever remembers from Gen 2 that you can ask any person who's played it is like, what is the thing that stands out to you the most in Gen 2 is Whitney beating your ass with that fucking milk tank.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
It happens to everybody. Anybody who raw dogs the game for the first time will experience getting rollout stomped by Whitney's milk tank.
So here's a good question.
Look at that. Whitney's milk tank right there.
Yeah, there are no
what
Whitney's milk tanks.
Go back to the search bar. I saw it. Oh, you missed it again.
Well, that is.
It's like the second card down. Whitney S. milk tank.
Right, but
so it's just one of the trainer cards.
Yeah, we don't have any like Whitney and Miltank cards, which is a huge missed opportunity.
That is a huge missed opportunity.
This is one of my favorite cards. This is the orbital card.
Oh my god! And it's abducting a Miltank.
Yes,
that's so good.
It's like a UFO. It's like so fucking funny.
I like the orbital VMAX. That's one of the few VMAXs that I thought looked pretty good.
Super underrated. Super underrated. Okay, Gen 3. What's the story?
Okay, that one's easy. It depends on which one you're playing, but one of them is being a dickhead, and the other one is trying to stop the guy from being a dickhead. So it's either what are their names? Maxi and something else.
Oh,
Team Magma and Team Aqua.
Team Aqua.
One of them has decided that it's time for the world to be really hot or really wet.
Yeah, one wants to go scorched earth and one wants to flood it.
Yep.
Right. They're both stupid.
They're both really stupid because they die. Almost every single... And people hate on me for this. We'll get to it a little later. But people hate on me for hating most of the
evil teams. Right.
Because all of them want to die.
Yeah.
Like almost all of them, their plan is to kill everybody, including themselves.
Right. Because Gen 3 is flood the earth or burn the earth.
Mhm.
Gen 4 is restart the universe, right?
Yep.
Restart time and space.
Or maybe they don't really know what they're doing. They're trying to just summon the creators to
Lord of the Distortion World or Arceus, Arceus, whatever. Gen 5 is the only gen with like morally sound evil team, which is, hey, maybe we shouldn't do cockfighting with our
We should
Pokemon.
Just stop catching them. But they're not going about it the necessarily right way. What is it, Galactic?
Yeah, Team Galactic.
Team Galactic. So they're not going about it the right way because they're, in order to free all the Pokemon, they're like torturing the shit out of some Pokemon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Don't they have like the lab with the tanks filled with the legendaries?
Mm-hmm. Like Uxie,
Mesprit, and Mesprit are like trapped in a test tube.
Right.
So that's, maybe we don't do that. Let's take a look at ourselves. And is that the one with N?
Yes.
Yes. So like I really like that because the people were all unified at one point, but then N was like, this is completely the opposite of what I wanted. He genuinely wants the freedom of Pokemon. And then what Geddes wanted all of the Pokemon to be, he was just trying to use them for a personal gain, basically.
Right.
Bunch of old men.
So
typical.
Typical. But at least it wasn't murdering civilization.
At least it wasn't murdering civilization.
What was Gen 6's?
Lysander, right?
Yeah.
You tell me.
I don't
Nobody knows what Lysander's deal was.
Nobody knows. Okay, Sun and Moon. Evil team.
Beautiful. We're going to take a pause here. Team Skull is my favorite evil team by far because they're not evil at all.
That's right.
They stand that one girl. They stand Marnie hard for whatever reason because like Marnie's brother is like their favorite band. Like Marnie's brother's in their favorite band, so they just stand the shit out of her and they're all just like, no, that's the different one. That's Team Yell.
That's Team Yell.
Shit.
That's Team Yell.
Mixing the waters. This one is Guzma.
Yes.
The huge dude.
Right.
Who's and all of Team Skull is just a bunch of Neanderthals.
Yes.
And they don't have anywhere to go because they're too stupid to exist in regular society, so they just team up. And there's like 3 babysitters. All of the Team Skull, like elites, the commanders of the team are just the people that have brains that signed up with Guzma to babysit these idiots.
Yes. So
and it's just like they really have no agenda. They're just trying to like be punks and spray paint stuff.
That's right. Team Yell was
just standing for the Marnie.
Yeah, it was just like a bunch of like almost like super fans of like, it's kind of like, because it's basically like UK was like
supposed to be UK, so
it's like stadium
soccer
fans essentially is like what it was, which is like
they're okay.
Yeah.
They're fairly forgettable because I almost lumped them in with Team Skull.
Yeah, they kind of seem a little similar. I think they both use purple or magenta or something as their colors.
Well, Team Skull was all like bandanas and the skull hats.
Right, that's right.
Like the punk aesthetic. Which is why, because Marnie's got the punk aesthetic, which is why I made the connection.
Yep.
However, I don't really pay attention to any of them. I just thought that the guys in Team Skull, because the Sun and Moon anime is my favorite season of the anime, and they're just so like you just can't hate them. It's like, oh, these poor guys, they don't know, they have no idea what's going on because Team Rocket shows up, and they're complete idiots themselves.
Yes, they're not smart.
Although I've always maintained that if Team Rocket targeted any other Pokemon besides Ash's Pikachu, they would be wildly successful because their schemes are like extremely elaborate. Like,
I was rewatching through the anime, and all I could think is, where are they getting the funding?
This is Giovanni.
They are fucking geniuses, bro.
I think Giovanni just sends them the money because I think deep down he knows like these are my most motivated employees.
Dude, these people are so motivated, and they just like, they're like, all right, we're gonna build a life-size, Pikachu, or like a life-size, they're not even life-size, like
an animatronic Kangaskhan,
like just fucking this massive, like, machine robot. And we're like, yes, this giant 200-foot, abomination of a mech is absolutely gonna catch this 11-year-old's Pokemon and still fails.
Every time. Every time. Dude. And it's just like, imagine if they targeted anything else, because the only reason they fail is because this Pikachu has the greatest plot armor of all time. And it's level 100. Like, at this point, by the time Ash actually becomes the champion, the Pokemon champ, his Ash is level 110, or his Pikachu is level 110.
You-
It is so over leveled that it just stomps every single other like level 65 Pokemon that's coming into the ring with it.
I think I saw a video where it said what level is Pikachu's or is Ash's Pikachu actually, you know, and if it were like 1-to-1 with the games. And I think by like season like 4 or 5, it's actually like only level like 20.
Because of how many times it's fought.
Yeah,
and it just
actually
like fights the one
only
Pokemon one episode every couple episodes.
Exactly. So, which is kind of funny. Like you would think that it was over, which makes them even more ridiculous.
Thing that they don't account for that is in the show that they really only have in the game as like a mini game is the hyper training, where he trains his Pokemon. Ash constantly trains his Pokemon against nothing.
Yeah.
He just like has them do push-ups and stuff.
Yep.
Which is like the hyper training pop the balloons game. So yeah, it's a low level, but it's max EVs. It's got max EVs.
Bro is 250 in every field.
Yeah. They gave him extra. Like he's just jacked Pikachu.
Yeah, bro is ripped.
He's the underground half of Diglett.
Okay, so we have, what was it? So we had Team Yell, Scarlet and Violet. What was the team again for?
I don't know. Super forgettable.
They were
Scarlet and Violet was so hard for me because it was just like they
why
really.
Can't I remember the name of the evil team? It was.
I can't remember one thing that they did. I remember some of the gym leaders. Some of the gym leaders were somewhat
Team
memorable.
Star. Team Star.
What did they do? Name one member. Who was the leader?
I know there's the lady with the red hair and the big boots. I think she drove the car, the Vavaroom.
Red hair and big
What
boots.
the hell was her name?
It wasn't the girl with the short hair and glasses, right? Red and blue hair.
Let's see. Erie, Atticus, or Mila.
I unfortunately can't remember. Oh, I remember. Weren't they like students that kind of just like fucked off for a little while, and then you beat them up, and they're like, "All right, we'll come back to school."
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, yeah, I kind of remember that.
Yes, Mila is who I was thinking of. That's the only one I could think of.
It's like, I don't agree with your dress code, so I'm gonna defect.
Yes, that's basically it.
Yeah, I remember the Kiss girl.
Yes, Erie or something.
I don't know. She's pictured there.
Okay, which brings us into the last topic I actually really wanted to talk about, which is the next game comes out this week. Which is...
I liked Legends Arceus.
Yes.
I liked
Legends
it a
EA.
lot more than a lot of other people seemed to.
I loved Legends Arceus.
I don't know what the deal was, but it got a lot of bad rap for no reason. I thought that they really did a great job of perfecting the like overworld Pokemon.
Yeah.
You interact with them in a way that like, you know, I don't necessarily need it to be like back in time to believe that a Pokemon would attack a person, but sure, bring it back in time, whatever.
Yeah.
But it just felt good. Like the stealth mechanic felt good. They did the riding Pokemon pretty well, I think. I liked shiny hunting in that a lot more than Scarlet and Violet because there was an audio cue.
Yes,
the audio cue was super helpful. It felt good. You got a little joy when you hear a little twinkle. Like, where is he?
Yeah. Where is he? He's somewhere in this plane. You know, I just have to find him. Yeah.
The combat was okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. They really adopted this thing. There's a game called Bravely Default. And it's a JRPG. It came out on like the DS or the 3DS or something like that. But the mechanic was you can either do a save up. You save up for a turn and you can attack twice the next turn, or you can save up for a turn and expend it at a later turn, which felt a lot like the fast attack, strong attack, regular attack. Because you could regular attack, you could hold and do a weaker attack for a turn and save it for the next turn to do a stronger attack, or you could do a stronger attack and then have to recoup the next turn.
Yeah.
I just saw a parallel with that and I kind of liked it, but I'm like, I don't really need this in my Pokemon game.
Right.
Like, I think that the thing that has drawn me to every Pokemon game is the battle mechanics. the turn-based JRPG, train your Pokemon, bring it into battle. You don't need to change anything. The best thing they ever did was doing the special physical split and adding abilities, and you're good. Leave it. Don't touch it.
So then how do you feel about the new battle mechanics in ZA?
It looks weird. The gameplay I've seen so far looks a little odd. Like, you have to do a lot of running around, and then there's this cursor that I keep seeing come off of the character's model and like go to the Pokemon that they're fighting.
Oh yeah.
I don't really know how that's going to work. If it feels, I haven't played it, so if it feels ergonomic in a way that like I'm not annoyed with how I have to battle, I'll be okay with it. I've always wanted a Pokemon game where it feels more like the anime.
Yes, that's literally, I completely agree with you. Because like in the anime, like one of the first things that happen, I think it's the first episode, is all of the Spearows attack Ash and like beat him up.
Right. He gets his ass beat immediately
by the Pokemon and blacks out.
Right.
So like in the Legends game, being able to get your ass beat by the Pokemon,
it felt good. Yeah.
It felt canonically correct. It felt like what's supposed to be happening in these Pokemon games.
And it's always been alluded to in the games because you black out. Right. So it's like, my Pikachu getting beat up doesn't knock me out. I'm assuming that my Pikachu got beat up and now he can't protect me and I got beat up. Is why I'm blacking out. And then apparently the trainer robbed me.
It's because you lose money. It happens. So the trainer just robbed me, just dead. Like after you have no more Pokemon, the person who you're fighting against is like, all right, Kangaskhan, now go beat this guy's ass.
Like, let's get some money out of this guy.
Which
is crazy because it's not just Team Rocket doing that. It's Bug Catcher that's doing that.
It's like, fucking everybody.
It's Youngster that just like, you lose to Youngster's Eradicate, and now Youngster's like, all right, Eradicate, go get him.
Yeah, it's like, and it's so funny because if you think about it, like, I think about like in Kanto, like there's the bridge that's like north of Celadon City. It's got like 7 different trainers on it. And it's like just a bunch of people with ADD. And as soon as they come into your sight line, they're like, jump him now, like beat him up.
Well, that's always how trainers have been. It's like, it seems as though you have nothing going on in your life and you've just been waiting for specifically me to come by.
Yes.
But like, I don't care about that. It would be so hard to really translate that into, it wouldn't be, not today. By today's standards, it would actually be pretty easy to translate the anime's way of life in Pokemon society into a game where it feels more like, Grand Theft Auto or something like that, where there are people around that you can interact with, but they're not waiting there to interact with you.
Right.
They're there presumably to do their own thing, and you may interact
their
with
own
them.
life, right?
I don't think they're ever going to do that because Nintendo is really terrible. I'm sorry, they're so bad at making games at this point. Like, all of their hardware is decade behind the next best console game. Like the PlayStation 4 is better than the Switch 2.
Right, which is really crazy.
And the games that they are running on the Switch are not taxing games. Like I can accept a kind of like, cartoony style in a game if it's going to run good, but you're going to give me Scarlet and Violet that looks like shit and runs like shit.
It's terrible.
You really just are phoning it in.
Right.
And then if you ever deign to say, I want to play this at a higher quality, I'm going to torrent it and play it on my PC and emulate it. They're going to do everything in their power to take legal action against it.
Yeah, it's really strange that the most profitable franchise in history cannot produce a game.
Oh, they can.
Is not producing games that are of like good quality.
Yeah. So the thing with Nintendo is that they have done something, and the reason that they're gonna long outlive PlayStation and Xbox is because they've monopolized their IPs. All of their IPs are only theirs. So that's why they take such strong legal action against every single thing that could even possibly suck some joy out of these IPs, even things that are non-profit, completely made by a random person for free for other people to enjoy, like a ROM hack. they will take legal action against that person if they can, because it will take away from people that are forced to go to them for any nostalgic enjoyment for the things that they're looking for from their IPs. So they absolutely could produce better hardware. They're a multi-billion-dollar, trillion-dollar company, I imagine. They could produce better hardware and they could produce better games. 100% it is within the realm of possibility, because we're seeing other game developers do it. You're seeing indie developers do it easily. It's just a choice that they're making to suck the most profit out of these IPs for as little capital input as possible.
Yeah.
Which is too bad.
So what do you think, how do you think the new game Legends EA is going to affect the card market? Do you have any like thoughts on that?
So we're seeing a return to Mega Evolutions.
Yep.
People tend to like that.
That'll be great cards.
Yep, there's going to be good cards. But I don't think that the games themselves do much more than provide a... I think of it as the rock that a coral is growing on, right? The game is the rock.
Yep.
It has nothing more than just a place to grip onto for the cards, because the cards are going to be named after the games. The card sets are named after the games.
Yep.
The arts that you see in the cards are going to be probably Pokemon that you see in those games, as well as whatever battle mechanic you see in that game. So we saw it. We just looked at some cards that had the terrestrialization and the VMAX.
Right.
So we're going to see Mega Evolution cards for sure.
Yep.
As far as how they affect card price, I think that each card is judged independently.
Sure.
Which is something that I kind of wanted to draw our attention to at some point in this podcast. It didn't necessarily need to be today, but I was going to plan on touching on it multiple times. Is something that I would like to get out of this is maybe if we could sort of articulate what we think the reason card prices are the way they are is. And what I mean by that, is it the art? Is it the Pokemon itself? Because you see a combination of these things. You see people love Umbreon. You see people love the Bubble Mew artist. You see people love, specific styles of art where it's like the SARs or SIRs or whatever it is, the special illustration rares, tend to be more popular because there's more to grab onto there. I wouldn't imagine that they would be more popular if it didn't have something to do with the art. Because if it wasn't the art, why aren't the most rare cards in the set the most popular?
Right. Of course. Yeah.
So I think that it's going to be a place that they print cards that have the name, Zygarde perhaps on it. I think that the ZA is in reference to Zygarde. But I don't think it's going to like directly affect anything.
Yeah. You know what I think is happening is I think that because the cards are making so much money, I think it's actually starting to infiltrate the way in which they design the games, because I think that the location, like I like a big complaint I have with Legends EA is that it seems to only be city. And I think a lot of people share that sentiment, which as a game, I don't know if we're going to like that or not. But as Pokemon cards, we might be like, oh, cool. Like there's like this cute Pokemon that's hanging out at a coffee shop in Paris,
Right.
It because a lot of the cards illustrate the Pokemon in the environment that you play them or find them in the games.
Or you would see them in the anime.
Right.
I think that the card arts do a much better job of representing like life in the Pokemon world than like the games do. Because the games are at their core a JRPG that is showing you a graphically dumbed down version of this world that is way more in depth when you watch it in the anime and when you see them on the card arts.
Right.
So that for me feels good because I really love the Pokemon world and I love the world building that they've done. I like the way that they sort of loosely base their places on real life areas.
Yeah.
So seeing that in the card art is cool.
Yeah.
I wonder what you think if the way that the game is received, do you think that is going to, be it good or bad, affect the cards?
Absolutely.
So if
Because
it tanks,
yeah, like I think that because like if a ton of people who only love to play the games that don't care about the cards go and they love the game, and this is something I'm really excited about, is that the new battle mechanic. I think a lot of people avoided trainer battles throughout the games, but if they feel like this kind of battle royale sort of little thing that's happening, that you have like it's a little bit more like you're not like sitting there thinking, like what should I do? You're actually like running around, you're moving, you have to make decisions fast and you have to keep moving. I think it will engage enough people to like want to play it a little bit more competitively regularly, and if they're getting more invested in the games, it's like just a gateway drug to the cards, like it's so I think that if the game tanks, it may not affect the Pokemon card market so much, because right now people don't care about playing the games, they just care about the cards. But if the game takes off really well and it crushes it, it will affect the cards, because people will be falling back in love with one thing that will lead them to the other things.
Okay, what do you think? I mean, just based on what you see, and just for reference, I think that on Metacritic, I think Arceus got like an 83 and Scarlet Violet got like a 72 or something like that.
Yeah, okay.
What do you think
It's generous.
ZA is going to get?
That's really tricky, because a lot of the things I loved about ZA or about Legends Arceus are clearly not present in ZA. Like I love being in the historical times. I love the wide open, like the range of the mountains and the coastal and everything.
Yeah.
I'd hate that they took that stuff away. We don't know if the shiny sound is still there or not. I don't think.
Right.
I don't think. I'd love that alphas are back in. I like that megas are there. The battle mechanics, I think, are a big win in terms of like keeping people engaged and like excited about battling. So I think that's good. So it's hard to say, but I have a feeling, I have a sense that the way that the game has been displayed does not fully articulate the greatness that's probably going to happen in the game. Like when we played Legends Arceus, big spoiler, skip over this if you haven't played it. But when in the final battles, like you're fighting Volo with the Giratina, huge moment. Fighting Arceus, huge moment. Like
cinematic, really cinematic that you never see in any of the other games.
Really, just huge moments. You're like, wow, this game is bigger than what was led on to be. And I'm praying that in ZA that there is so much. They've only shown us 10%. I hope that we've only seen the tip of the iceberg and not everything that's happening.
Right.
And it will really come down to, did they show us everything or did they leave a lot to be surprised? I think that's,
Yeah. I think they have a lot of opportunity to take parallels from what I enjoyed from Arceus and put it into ZA, because they're doing a similar like Legends game. Things I really liked was you had that town that was the home base, and it was raid based. It wasn't like you were this open world like every other Pokemon has been. You choose which biome you're going to. You spawn in, you go around, and you have an inventory that you can fill while you're out. And then when you return to the person at camp, you say, I'm done here. It tallies up, it gives you experience and tallies up all the things that you did while you were out, and then returns you to that home base. That was something that was really cool for me that I really enjoyed for that game.
Yeah.
It made shiny hunting more fun. It made each biome feel a lot more unique and independent from one another because they weren't touching.
Gave you a sense of progress.
And I could take or leave the way they presented the quests and stuff like that. That wasn't necessarily something that was a huge win for me.
Right.
But I did like the Pokemon writing and all that stuff. So I'm wondering is it like Lusamine City or whatever it's called?
Yeah.
If that's going to be your home base and you're going to have a similar experience where you go out to each of the biomes that we're familiar with from the generation and get to experience them in a little bit more of a refined and concise way like they had with Arceus. I almost don't feel like they're going to do that. I feel like that's not what we've seen so far.
Yeah,
so
it doesn't feel like that at all.
It would be a stretch for me to hope for that still. But maybe they'll do it, and maybe it will be none of those things and still be good. Or maybe it'll be ass. Who knows?
Yeah, I'm hoping to be surprised. I'm hoping to be surprised with, maybe how good it is. But as of this moment, I'm excited about the battle mechanics. And if there's something that can bring people in to continuously play online against each other, I think that'll do wonders for the cards themselves, because people will go to the tournaments, go to Worlds. People who are going to Worlds will obviously have firsthand experience with the cards. It's all going to funnel into like this great investment opportunity of cards, given that everything works out. So, and will provide a nice balance of like, okay, I'm done looking at cardboard today, but I still want to like look at Pokemon. I can play the game. So hopefully it'll be great, but we'll see.
My Metacritic prediction is going to be 78.
78%?
Yeah, I think it's going to hit somewhere in between Scarlet and Violet and Legends Arceus.
Are there any reviews live yet? Do we know? No, it doesn't seem like reviews have dropped.
They never do like a point review until the day of.
Got it.
So like people at IGN have played it, the full finished product, but they're not going to put their review. They're probably already written the review and given it a score, but they're not going to put it out until the day of.
And data mine it. Cool. Well, all right, let's wrap it up. We've been talking for an unbelievable almost 2 hours.
Yeah.
I didn't expect us to yap as much as we did, but it's awesome. Thank you everybody for tuning in to our first episode of the Pack Magic podcast. If you have any questions or anything that you want to say to us, suggestions, let us know. Send us a message.
Send us some Team Rocket costumes for when we become Rip and Shippers.
Yes, that would be excellent. Thank you guys for tuning in. Until next time, see ya. Peace.